Hello and welcome to Road to Champions League Glory with Bishops Stortford. This is episode 12. We are looking back at season 2. So, I bet you're all asking and have all been wondering, did we do it? Did we make it 2 years on the trot of getting promotion? Well, to answer your question, as you can see, we didn't have to do any playoffs and we won the league. Only just, but we did win the league. So we finished on a grand total of 98 points. I was a little bit gutted we didn't break the 100 mark barrier, but we lost our final game. As you can see, last time you were with us was back in the North Ferriby game where we just about scraped a 4-3 victory. Well, since then we beat Morecambe 2-0, Bournemouth 2-1, Sutton 5-1, Eastleigh 3-1, Accrington 2-0, Maidstone 2-1, drew 0-0 with Fylde, who were with us going towards the championship. And then the big result that kind of helped us all the way through was a 2-1 victory against Lincoln, and with a man sent off. They did have a man sent off for the last 10 minutes, but we had Charlie Allen sent off after 48, so we had played a whole half with only 10 men against 11. By this point, we'd gone 3 points clear. There wasn't really much catching us, so us losing the last game against Braintree didn't do us any harm, except we didn't break the barrier. If you look, though, on stats, just on the player overview, we didn't really do very well. I think we've kind of got a bit lucky with this league. Obviously, we've played reasonably okay, but we haven't had anyone who's outstanding. We haven't had anyone who's gone amazing stats. We haven't had anyone who's done loads of assists. They've just been spread out. We haven't had anyone that's run loads. We haven't had anyone that's got key tackles. We haven't got anyone on the least conceded because kept switching keepers, or the most clean sheets because kept switching keepers. Most tackles. Okay, we've got one down there. We've got Lewis Cyril. But again, most dribbles, no one on there. Most key passes, no one on there. Hitting the target, no one on there. So we've been a little bit lucky. I think overall, if we look at the stats of the whole squad, okay, we've looked. Charlie Allen's played quite a few games. He's our centre mid. Quay Taylor, centre back, played quite a few games. Lewis Cyril, left back. He's taken over Johnny Hurd, but Johnny has played quite a few games for the club, and he's done rather well. I'll average it up in a minute. Just have a look at appearances. So you got the right back, played really well. Hitchcock, to be fair, since I trained him as a left winger, inside forward, he's played a lot more for us, which is really nice to see actually, because initially in the summer he was brought in as more of a rotational striker, but he's actually turned out to be a starting left winger, and he's banged in 16 goals, and he is our top goal scorer. If you have a look at Pavel though, he scored 15 and 17. For me, if we'd have had him all season, he could have been challenging that top goal scorer tally in the league. But to be fair, he's still done a good job for us. Assists been spread out. Look at that: 8 by Gordon, 8 by Allen, 8 by Leggett, 8 by Montano, 7 by Waters. Keep doing that. You got to think these two boys only came in January as well. They've done a fantastic job for us. So left back giving us 5 with Lewis. Tom's done alright he's got the goals and a few assists. Man of the matches spread out again. 6 for Charlie Allen, Pavel, Quay Taylor. Passing. Okay, we'll go all the way down to the average rating. Look at Pavel. Smashed it, okay? 7-3-1. You got Remy Mears. I've got a little bit of a soft spot for him. Whenever he plays for me, he does a good job. So I can't really do much against him. Like last season, he played alright, but this season, whenever I needed him, just to come on, maybe just start the odd game, maybe to just come off the bench, he's done a good job. So's Che Alexander on the right back. Whenever we've had like Tom suspended or something, Che's come in, done a good job for us. Been able to play with 3 at the back and as the wing back, because we've used that every so often this season just to kind of surprise a few teams. Switched it up halfway through a game. or started against Lincoln, the 2-1 victory. We played that formation, and due to them, I'm guessing having superior scouting, they scouted our normal tactic, which we've used throughout my career so far. Last time they beat us 4-0, so I thought, hey, let's give them a bit of a surprise. Let's play three at the back. They're trained in it because it's been in it's been in this tactical slot all the way through, and we trained in it, so we just use that and kind of pulled it off really. So if you look, there's a lot of players who are 7 and above. Fraser and Mark are not far off. Dayan played 27 games. You look, the two keepers played 28 and 27 games. Okay, they've done a good job. I'm pretty happy with them, to be honest. Siddle has come out with 9 clean sheets. Dayan has come out with 9 clean sheets. They've more or less done similar job, similar stats, passing, more or less the same. The only thing is Siddle's a little bit better at the sweeper keeper, so he's just getting that little pip above Dayan at the moment. If we look at the rest of them, they've done alright. The one thing I do feel like we haven't done much of is exploited the loan market. We brought in 3, used 1 half-heartedly, and he's a bit rubbish, to be fair. So let's just have a look now at the awards for the season. So we go back to May the 6th, where the end of season awards came out. A lot happened on this date, as you can see. So this was the end of the year awards. Okay, so the team of the season, Pavel got in the striker position, which doesn't surprise me. Gordon, Harris, Hitchcock, Hannah, Allen, Cyril, Taylor, Hickford, Leggett, and Siddle. Signing of the season was Montano, which surprised me because I thought it should have been Pavel. Goal of the season was the Alex Bradley one. At the moment, I can't play it because my laptop will probably crash if I try to play it in 3D. Well, a little bit sorry for Bradley really, because he should be in there, but he got injured at the end of the season. And Johnny Hurd, the club legend, the fans love him. He's only played 17 games this year, and he's got player of the season. He's not even in the team of the year, but he got fans player of the season. For me personally, if I had to say signing of the season, I'd say Alex Bradley, followed closely by Pavel. If I would say signing player, like new signing that is kind of gone underrated, I'd say is Allen. I didn't expect him to do as good a job as he has, but he's done a fantastic job. So have a little look then. So have a look at the season review. Obviously we won the Vanarama National League, so that's 2 promotions in a trot and 2 league titles in a trot. We lost in the 3rd round against Dagenham and Redbridge, which means that's our last chance of winning the FA Trophy. Bit of a shame. I hope we're not back in it the season after, because that means we got relegated next season. And then in the FA Cup we lost against Bristol City. Obviously we got through to the 3rd round, which is great for us, great financially, but that means also we're giving ourselves high expectations to get into that 3rd round. Last time we got to the 4th round, this season 3rd round. Next season I'll be hoping to aim for the same, about 3rd round, and then that gives us a chance to get a bit of income against bigger clubs. We're going to be in League 2 next year, so hopefully we'll be able to have a better squad and a better team. You never know, we might be able to cause a few upsets. So if we have a look at the match of the season, it was a 2-0 win against Tranmere, which I don't think that should have been. I think it's a 2-1 victory against Lincoln in the end. Moment to forget, the 4-0 victory. You were with us on that one. We played absolutely dreadful, but we've pulled it back from there. The only bit I'm a little bit disappointed at, if we have a look at the average attendance, it's only near enough, it's 1,200. So 1,185. Only 32% of our stadium has been filled. Then we have a look at total players used, 32. This is quite high. I do admit this is quite high, but I have tried to use a few youth boys. I've tried to use nice squad rotation. There's a few youngsters that have been playing in the team, coming off the bench, getting a few appearances here, there. There's a few loanies that actually I regret playing. There's a few players at the beginning of the season that I played weren't good enough, so they got dropped down to the under 23s. but that's because one, my scouting's not good enough. So if I look at their stats and go, "Ooh, yeah, they looked quite decent," my scouts then say, "Oh yeah, 4-star. I play him, and he's not very good." And obviously, I'm not going to keep him in that first team and just keep playing him because we need results. So bring someone else in, try someone else, give them a go, and they unfortunately get dropped. And if they can't pull that back, then they're out of the team for a while. Then something else happened on this day where we'll do this one first. We've turned professional. So the club are now a professional club, obviously because it's a requirement to go into League 2. So the board have made the club professional. This will mean that it'll be more expensive to do certain things like training. Wages obviously go up because we are now full-time employees. There are other bits and bobs that are just inside the coding of the game, obviously, with when you turn professional and with the finances. So we're going to be spending a lot more money. So we're hoping to gain that back in through, obviously, cut runs. If we have to sell players, we sell players. We've got to realise at this level, if someone comes in for an offer of ridiculous amounts of money, then we have to say yes, just to basically keep our head above water. So far, we've done a good job of keeping ourselves in profit and keeping ourselves in the white. So, we're turning professional. The next announcement is we are having a new stadium. Not gonna lie, this did surprise me. So Woodside Park is gonna be gone. Is gonna go, and the construction of Bishops Stortford Stadium will commence. The only problem is it's gonna take 2 years, so 25 months, so just over 2 years. So we're expected to be in there in season 4. Well, in my head, if we keep going at the rate we are, that means we could be going into the championship with a new and starting in a new stadium. But it's only 5,000 seats. At that point, championship, 5,000 seats isn't really good enough. That's if we get perfect promotion. You never know. I don't really know what to expect for next season, but we'll go over that towards the latter end of this video. So we've had that. So you're probably thinking now, well, where are you going to be next season? Well, as you can see, we've been relocated, and we're going to be in the Stevenage ground in Broadhall Way. So we're having to pay rent for this, £34,000 a month, which isn't too bad. But we are going to be in a stadium that isn't ours for 2 years. We're not going to have any chance of sorting out the size. Doesn't really make much of a difference in these leagues because we can't have. It's not as optional. There's not as many options as it is in the lower league. Then you look at the supporters. We can actually fit over 6,000 supporters in. So if we're hitting full capacity at some point during the next 2 years, we'll then go down to 5,000 when we go into our stadium, which hopefully the board will see, and they will increase it quite quickly, as hopefully, and just keeping my fingers crossed it won't take as long to build more seats. It's a bit of a shame, but we're going to carry on with it. Obviously, we haven't got any choice on stadium at all. It's one of my inner ambitions to have the stadium named after me, so it would be nice to have the Jones Stadium, but as we've had a new stadium in season 2, we're playing this for a few seasons. We're going to play this for a long time. Okay, so you remember me saying 20 seasons to get into to win the Champions League. That means we've got another 18 seasons. We might build another stadium in that time. Keeping my fingers crossed. So that's that. Okay, the other one is the annual setup with the youth. We're category 4, which is nice because that means actually we were able to produce a few youngsters in our academy. It costs us a little bit of money, but all worth it. Okay, the other bit that I want to bring up now is just have a little look at this. I won Manager of the Year again. I'm pretty happy with this. Not gonna lie, I was expecting it at the end because of our media prediction, because of our club prediction, because of the money we're spending currently, and we won the league. So if I had not won it, I'd have been a bit disappointed. So someone would have nabbed it off me. But that's where we are at the moment. Let's just look at my profile as well. Attacking's gone up, defending's gone up, tactical. None of these haven't really moved really. I'm not really sure what these have done. But obviously level, discipline and youngsters haven't budged. Finances, only 27. Loyalty, 25 because I keep using so many. We have just finished our Continental B. We're going on to our Continental A. So that means I've only after this got my Continental Pro, which would be pretty good if we can get that within the next 2 years. That'd be fab. We've just signed a full-time contract on £300 a week. Okay, so it's a full-time contract for the next 2 years. So that also means I won't be having to ask for a new contract anytime soon. We have a look down at our career stats. We've played 107, 167 of them. Only lost 16. A lot of that has been this year. We look at goals, 492. Goals against, 104. We haven't scored as many this season. It is a little bit of a concern, but I'm hoping that it'll improve now that I can sign players on full-time contracts. I can hopefully get better players. Goal difference 88, win percentage 62. This, if it stays at 62, I've got no complaints at all. So let's have a little look now at a few transfers that have come in. Okay, so I have done a few transfers. These were off the cuff, not gonna lie. These were off the cuff. So this boy is a pretty damn good goalkeeper. I found him by luck more than judgment. I went through the under-21s countries, just clicking through, and as I do this every season, just have a little look, see if there was anyone there, see if there was any players that were on free transfers. And in the Czech team, there was 4 16-year-olds. There were obviously Regans, which were in the under-21s team. Well, we've signed 2 of them. The other 2 are on my shortlist because I can't scout them at the moment, as you can see. Where am I looking? Scouting. I can't afford to scout them because I can't get there. So this is a bit of a pun, really, because this is what you see. This is all I see. Okay? Advanced playmaker in this position. That's all I could see. He hasn't played for anyone. Same with this guy. He hasn't played for anyone. The bit I'm going off is if they give me a chance to sign them, 1, that gives me a bit of hope. 2, if they're reasonable. So I think I signed David. I love it that he's got a British name. David, he signed £500 per week. I didn't see any of this. I couldn't see his stats. So you're seeing more than I did at the beginning. I took a pun. I saw that he was 16 at the time. So at 16 he had 4 caps for under 21s. I thought, you know what? Just go for it. See what he's like. And I brought this boy in as well. He was asking for £100, £100 a week. He played 2 games for the under 21s, 16-year-old, play winger. At that point, you could only it came up just saying winger, the full green circle. I thought, you know what, brilliant. Looking at him now, physical's pretty good. Determination and teamwork high, which is brilliant. I'm just going to train him as an inside forward. He's only 16. Straight into my under 18s team. Brilliant. So these 2 boys, if I can sign them, I'll try. But I have put offers in. They have we came to a disagreement, shall we say? Disagreement. It's the best way to describe it. So let's have a little look at all the other leagues, just to go through really. So Sky Bet League 2. Coventry, Crawley, Exeter and Cambridge were promoted. Relegated were Barnet and Aldershot, so we won't be playing those 2. But we're going to be playing everyone else. Okay. Look at League 1. This is a big one because obviously we're playing the relegated clubs. So we're losing Blackburn, Sheffield United, and Millwall. They're getting up. They're getting promoted down to playing the same league as we are next year. Fleetwood, Plymouth, Colchester, and Shrewsbury. Those four are pretty big clubs, and two, they've not. They've all no one's really like lost it by a long way. Obviously, Shrewsbury are a few points behind, but these other boys are pretty close to staying up. It's going to be a bit of a challenge next year playing against them. Big clubs, Championship. See who's got promoted into the Prem. QPR, Brighton, and Reading. I'm glad Brighton have got up. In real life, I would love Brighton to go up just to see that stadium in the Prem. But on this occasion, in a Football Manager life, QPR, Brighton, Reading, our feeder club, our affiliated club, Sheffield Wednesday, got into playoffs, which was good, but they've stayed in the Championship this season. We'll be looking to exploit their connection a bit more this season. Relegated Scunthorpe, Port Vale, Charlton. Up to the Prem, Man United have won, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea. Leicester have finished 6th. Ranieri is still the manager. Oh, go away. Ranieri is still the manager. And if we have a look there, so he's done a good job. I did notice in January they brought in a fairly good player. Bazoa, realistically, is probably one of the best deep line playmakers in the game. Definitely with consideration to age, stats wise, he's one of them that's going to progress quite nicely. So for them to bring him in and not have someone else nab him, yes, he's cost 29 million, which is a lot of money, but he's done a good job in bringing him in. And last year they finished 12th. This year they finished 6th. Relegated, Huddersfield, Norwich, Watford. I'm a bit gutted that Huddersfield are gone because they only got promoted last year. Norwich, to be expected, really. Newcastle got promoted last year as well and have stayed in. Watford to go down. Okay, Swansea only just saved themselves. Southampton are there, which is a bit of a shame. Okay, so we have a little look. Guardiola's still in charge of Man City. See if Jurgen Klopp is still in charge of Liverpool in the 7th. Man United, still Mourinho. Tottenham, still Pochettino. Arsenal, still Arsene Wenger. Chelsea, Louis van Gaal. Or Louis van Gaal. So they got rid of Conte last year. Conte is now unemployed. Look at those stats. Wow. Wow. Would be amazing, wouldn't it? So they've now got Louis van Gaal. Bit of a shock. Not gonna lie. Have a look at his achievements. Chelsea, Man United, Munich, Barcelona, Ajax. Not a bad CV, is it? Not a bad CV at all. So, if we think now, next season, how do I think the club are going to get on? Realistically, I'm going to aim for 40 points. If I get 40 points, then I give myself a good chance of staying up. The sooner I hit the 40 points, the better. If I hit 40 points by January, that means I've got a good chance of finishing mid-table and onwards. If I hit it any later, then it's going to be a bit of a relegation battle. Realistically, with the tactics that we've got, I feel we've got a good chance. As long as I bring in a few new players, ideally, we need to bring in a new left winger, a new right winger, a centre back, and potentially some new full backs. Okay, possibly to give a bit of competition to the boys we've already got, or to be that star. What we'll be doing is just seeing who's been released from their clubs. We have no money, transfer-wise, so next season, if you can see there, we've got a transfer budget of 20,000. We've got a wage budget of 4,000 extra. 4,000 is nothing really. It's probably about 6 players at most, because now that we're going to be going up a league, the boys that I've currently got will want to sign new contracts so they're professional, and the boys that are going to be wanting to come will be wanting more than what I'm currently spending as a max. At the max, I'm spending £400 as a max. There's going to be players that are going to want obviously more than that, and I'm going to have to spend that to get the standard that I want. So it's kind of a bit restrictive, shall we say? A bit restrictive. We look at finances. We've got a night. We're okay at the moment. Okay, the club actually say we're insecure, but I think we're all right. We've stayed at this level quite a way through. We just got to kind of stick it out, really. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is we're gonna leave it here. We will have a little visit back just at the end of pre-season. I remember this time to go over the friendlies as well. I forgot last time. We'll go over transfers. We'll go over media prediction. We'll go over any tactical changes, if there's any new staff, any changes that have happened in the club between now and then, and kind of see where we go from there, really. So, as always, thanks for pressing play, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.